Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery down here in our shooting center. We got a bow that we wanted to tell you about. This is a bow that the archery community has been waiting for a long time. This is the PSE Lazer, and what it is a budget-friendly target bow. You're going to get a ton of the target features in this bow for an MSRP of $799. That is incredible. So, of course, there's lots of archers out there who want to get into target archery, but some of those high-end target bows, they can be pushing $2,000. Here we've got one for $800. So this is a great deal, and as we mentioned, it's got a lot of great features in it. We're going to tell you about them, but my first impressions with this are that it shoots great. It didn't take me long to get it tuned in and dialed in. You know, it's got that classic PSE grip that's really comfortable for holding. It aimed well, it held well, just responded to the shot process great. So we'll get into all the technology that's involved with this bow right after we give you all the specifications. The PSE Lazer measures 37 inches axle to axle. It's got a brace height of 7.5 inches, IBO speed rating of 315 feet per second. Mass weight of this bow is going to be 4.5 pounds. You're going to have a let-off of 75%. It's got a draw length range on a rotating mod of 24 to 30.5 inches, and it's going to be available in peak draw weights of 40, 50, 60 pounds. Okay, so the PSE Lazer, the backbone of this bow is going to be this cam right here. This is a new cam for PSE. This is called the NF cam. And as we mentioned, this has an adjustable draw length of 24 inches to 30.5 inches. It's all on a rotating mod. So you'll be able to adjust the draw length of this. The cams and that module, they're going to be the same on every bow. But what we wanted to show you about this cam, what's unique is that PSE has come out with this cool harness here. So this certainly looks like your basic stirrup harness. We've seen harnesses like this for years, but usually when you see it, you're going to have a separate cable, and then this piece right here, this string, is going to be separate. Well, actually, this is one continuous cable that splits out into two yokes. So essentially, where this would be a 5-string bow, it's actually only got 3. So basically with this little stirrup here, the cable comes up, and as we mentioned, it splits. They cross over each other and then come out where they connect to the cam. Now, with this setup, you can do yoke tuning with this, but instead of the yokes being on the outside of the limbs here, they are right next to the cam on the inside. They're on little string tracks in here. So what that allows you to do when you have the yokes of the cable tight to the cam here is it gives you more precise yoke tuning. When you come to full draw, the loads can really get aggressive when they're out on the limb tips out here. But when they're next to the cam, it's just making little subtle changes to that cam. So when you're tuning, that's what, you're going to make your rest adjustments, and then you're going to do your fine tuning with these yokes here just to get that little cam influence there. But that's a great stable system there rather than having them out on the ends of the limb tips. So you're going to notice with this riser, it is very straight. A lot of times with many of the PSEs, you're going to see a deflex to them. The Lazer has a very straight riser. That's for rigidity and stability. Holds really nice at full draw. As we mentioned, it's got that grip, that angled PSE grip. I just find that super comfortable when I'm aiming at full draw. Hand just sits in there nice. It just feels good at the shot. You are going to have an adjustable cable arm here. So right in here, we've got an Allen screw. You would loosen that, and then you'd be able to adjust this cable arm. As you can see, it does have an offset, so you can take these cables out if I were to twist it down. That's going to give you more string clearance, or bring it in if you need to do that, especially if you're shooting outdoors with those super skinny arrows. You don't need as much fletching clearance. You can bring that in and take some of that pressure, side pressure, off of the cams. Out front, We're going to have two stabilizer bushings in the front. You're going to have a standard one right under the handle, or if you like to get all that weight down low, you've got a second one right above that bottom limb, which is awesome. And then of course you've got your standard mount on the back for your side rod mount. On the inside here, something that I really like, especially for target bows, is we do have the dual burger holes here. So when you put on a rest, when you have a bolt-on rest in there, you can put two screws in to really hold that rest in place, and then you know you're not going to be able to influence that rest up or down when you got the two bolts in there. Also, we've got multiple holes drilled in here for your sight mount, and that comes in. That is really handy, especially when you may be shooting some super long distances. You don't have to rely solely on the amount of movement in your sight bar here. You can lower that, the whole sight mount, which will give you that extra range. Let's say you're shooting out 100 plus yards. You can lower that sight mount so that you'll still have lots of motion in your scope. You don't have to worry about always bottoming it out for those super long distances. So as I mentioned, that I really like how this bow aims and how it shoots. I will say straight up front that you do feel some hand vibration. There is some vibration in this bow. It's not vibration that really bothers you, but you feel it at the shot. But I didn't find that it affected how I was aiming or how I was shooting. I wasn't worried about it. It wasn't painful. It didn't come up into my elbow. But when that string comes forward and hits that string stops there, you do feel some vibration in your hand. So don't feel that that's out of the ordinary. It's not a lot of vibration. It didn't really bother me that much. Something else that I liked about this bow was the draw cycle on this NF cam. So this bow, as I mentioned, comes with a fixed 75% let off. Normally I like a little higher let off, but there was enough valley in this cam that at 75%, it felt comfortable at full draw. Once you get over the hump of this cam, there's plenty of valley there that it didn't feel like it was pulling my shoulder forward, and I could just sit comfortably at full draw. That's something that I really like in a bow, and I usually only find it in a bow with higher let off. So at 75%, that's of course going to help me with my speed. And as we mentioned, 7.5-inch brace height with 315 feet per second speed rating, that this bow really spits them out there. All right, so that is the PSE Lazer, brand new from PSE for 2021. Killer target bow with lots of high-end features at a budget-friendly price at $800. That is an awesome price for all the features that you get in this bow. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.